What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Major slid into my DMs with this build. He said he'd been having a lot of fun with it, and I was like, you know what, GG's. A lot of people have been sliding into my comments recently saying they're fed up with stacking builds. It's strikers this, strikers that, and they want something a little bit different. And this build spurred me on to create that. So before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe considering joining the channel. With all that said, let's get straight into it. So I won't show you exactly what I changed. I did change a couple of things on that build. Obviously I had obliterate on, so I've taken obliterate out because that is technically stacking, although it's really easily. That would be unfair, but you can obviously put that back in if you didn't mind running obliterate and you were just dead against stacking for like strikers and things like that. I also changed the knee pads in that build because for them ones you have to be very static. They're great for damage, and when you're at the top end they will out damage, you know, most things in that slot, if not everything. But you've got to play very static, just not my play style. So again though, that's up to you. You can always put them back in afterwards. So let's get straight into it. We're going to do DCD. We've not done DCD in a long time. Now, I am running the St. Elmo just as he was in his screenshot. But obviously, the Shield Splinter is now an absolute solid option. But the St. Elmo still has a lot of versatility about it, right? It electrifies enemies. It didn't get a damage buff like the rest of the guns did or anything like that. It dropped down tier-wise when it comes to damage. But versatility-wise and survivability-wise, it's insane. It's still really good. So for this video, we are going to use that, and we're going to stick to it for the build. So let's jump straight in and give it a go. Now I'm going with the shield because I'm a big girl, but feel free to run whatever you like. Whoa, easy there, Tiger. Something took my shield well out. Please show yourself. Thank you. We can play a little bit wild without the shield though, because, you know, we've got ways of stacking armor. Lots of ways of stacking armor, in fact, and lots of ways of getting armor on kill. So even though it feels like it will get spicy sometimes, it really isn't an issue. Where's the third one?
Connection established. DCD.
You are just going to do really good deeps. I don't really know where to play up to in this mission before we go over the build to kind of show that it works. Maybe we'll play to that big room in the middle. I showed that box who's boss.
Isaac's not detecting the gas needed for the decom process. They must have disabled the line.
Hit the main fuel line in the basement. That should get it flowing again.
Yeah, this room's good because as well, this is a fairly tough room because everything's a million miles away. Not really, you know, shot SMG or shotgun friendly. St. Elmo does play in really nice for this actually.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Face tanking, not a problem. And when you see that I'm face tanking with a certain talent on, if that's not giving away what it is that I'm running, you'll be like, holy sugar. Who face talents with that talent on? And as you can see here, the electric shot playing dividends. Massive dividends there as well. Yeah, this is a really good build. It's solid, absolutely solid. Major's done an absolute blinder with it. Let's head back to the base operations. We'll go through it, and obviously we'll talk about the few changes that you can make. Just for instance, like stepping it up with obliterate on the chest piece. So for this one, you're going to make sure you want to be running gunner and assault rifle damage. Gunner gives us, you know, armor on kill, rate of fire increase. It's good all around. You could run firewall if you wanted to. Then you would be able to use the firewall shield if you wanted some extra damage. I'd rather take the armor on kill for this build because there's a lot of armor on kill in here on the quiet as well. We talked about the guns before, run whichever you like. The versatility though runs really well with the electric shock bullets in this build. St. Elmo is probably really good here. And it fires like an absolute laser beam. You can shoot from range. Then this is pretty farmable, right? So sometimes I know I show you tricky builds, like, you know, trying to get a liquid engineer or trying to get a bellstone chest with obliterate. I know I've showed you some really tricky builds previously to try and farm, and that's great. It's a looter shooter. It's all about farming and getting them unicorn type pieces. This is pretty easy to put together. Most of this stuff can just be got now, today, crafted, or in countdown or whatever, and you could probably have this put together in about an hour, if not quicker, depending on how much you've got in your stash. So first of all, a bellstone mask. We're running 2-piece bellstone for 1% armor regen and armor on kill, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and crit chance. And basically you just need to get a crit chance, crit damage one, and roll on the core attributes to weapon damage. Obviously you can keep as many blues in this as you want. I'm a very much an all red type player, as you can see, but you could keep a couple of blues in here if you wanted to. The second piece that pairs with that is the holster. Weapon damage, crit damage, and this has got headshot damage on for some reason. I put the wrong holster in the build. I've not got the right one on, so we're just going to stick with this for now. That should be crit chance, and that should be critical hit damage. Is that going to affect the build in a way? Yes, it's going to affect the stats, because we should... So basically we're going to have more headshot damage than we should have, and less critical hit damage than we should have, because we could put chance here, and I've got a critical hit chance mod in, that would be a critical hit damage. So we'll take that into account when we get to the stat page. Next up, a group or backpack, giving us 15% critical hit damage, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, critical hit damage, and glass cannon. And that's what I was talking about. I was face tanking with glass cannon. That's how good the survivability is on this build. So this is up to you at this point here, right? You could put obliterate on if you don't mind stacking obliterate, or you could put glass cannon on. I did want to create the whole part of this, you know, this video was to have a non-stacking build. So I would have stuck with obliterate, or in all honesty, that would have been how I would like to play it. But I put glass cannon on just to kind of prove a point that, you know, we don't have to stack. We can still do a lot of damage and still have a lot of survivability built into an all red build. It's 25% amp damage. It's really nice. Then we've got a Walker Harris backpack, giving us 5% weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage in the mod slots, and bloodsucker, again providing us a ton of survivability. But I could have put my liquid engineer in here if I wanted to. That would have given me a little bit more extra on the bloodsucker, and I could have swapped something else out to still keep 2-piece bellstone. But like I said, the good reason, you know, when Major dropped into my DMs with this, I was like, you know what, anybody can farm this really quickly, really easily, if they really don't want to be running strikers. So we've got the Palisade gloves next, armor on kill 10%. This is probably one of the harder pieces to get, because you got to get crit chance and crit damage, and then roll the core attribute. But if you want to keep a blue in the game for this build, this would be the piece that you could keep blue as well. Really easy. Then all you have to do is get crit chance or crit damage. Keep it blue, optimize away, and you're absolutely buzzing. Then last but not least, I changed into the Fox's Pros, because the 8% damage target out of cover is really nice. Critical hit damage. And although they don't do as much damage as the Sawyer's knee pads when fully stocked up, I don't have to stay still. But if you wanted to keep in survivability, obviously the Sawyer's knee pads are a blue. So that, you know, you can quite easily stack another blue in here and then still get a load of survivability. Because I'm a massive girl, I ran the shield, but you could run Banshee Pulse because we are running Gunner. And I would definitely keep the Revive Hive because, you know, get out of jail free card, really nice. So let's take a look at the stats. 60% crit chance. This should be a 186% critical hit damage, and this should be 10% less. It should be, that wasn't max roll, was it? So it should be around 74%. So that's absolutely crazy. We know we've got damage target out of cover on our knees, and we've got health damage as well. Great non-stacking build. Really easy to put together. Bunch of armor on kill as well, which is really nice. How much armor on kill was there? Let's just double check. You know, 227k armor on kill. So that's like nearly a third of our armor. It pretty much is a third of our armor. Yeah, really good. Solid. Cheers to Major for sliding into my DMs. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe join. If you don't, you're a horrible person. Thank you for supporting the channel. I love you all very much, agents. And if you need a community Discord where everybody's dead friendly, wants to play the Division, and just wants to help people out, you'll find the link for mine down below in the description. I'll see you in the next one, agents. Goodbye.